So to kick things off, I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Dr. Jules Goodlett-Rowley, Head of the Tobacco, Gambling, Diet and Healthy Weight Unit at the Scottish Government, who's going to introduce our first challenge, followed by James and Laura from ePass to present their solution.
Thanks. So tobacco kills around one person every 61 minutes. It's an age-restricted product governed by our tobacco and vaping register. Our latest framework, published in November 23, included a commitment to reviewing and improving the current register, given that the current platform is now over 10 years old and uses an old, non-adaptable technology. The register is not just a nice-to-have, but underpinned by legislation, and Scottish ministers must keep a register of persons who sell these products. The register is used on a day-to-day basis by Trade and Standards to carry out advice and enforcement with retailers, and is central to our long-term vision for tobacco control. We have thoroughly enjoyed working with ePass over the accelerator phase, as they have opened up a vision of the register to us, and importantly have also shown our stakeholders the potential power behind it. So now I'll let James as CEO and Laura as Operational Director from ePass take over from here and tell you about their solution. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm James and this is my colleague Laura. Every day, over 10% of people in our community smoke regularly, and the vast majority of them started before their 18th birthday. This issue extends to underage vaping as well, where we're now seeing rising and worrying numbers of kids vaping each year. Shockingly, trading standards revealed that 1 in 8 retailers are selling cigarettes to underagers, with an alarming 1 in 5 distributing vapes to underagers. As Scotland takes strides towards a tobacco-free future, it's time for us to heed the call. The message is clear: our children deserve better. But legislative change alone isn't enough. We need a robust system to enforce these regulations where it truly matters, on the ground. We have found that almost anyone can register to sell tobacco and vapes right now. There's a lack of education and engagement for retailers, and there are minimal means to enforce the laws designed to carry through this positive change.
To address these challenges, our multi-purpose platform, ePass, has been created to help solve these problems, making licensed training, guidance, and approval as fast, secure, and effective as possible. Our solution has 3 key steps: configure, apply, and enforce. ePass provides adaptability to legislation, streamlined application processes, education, and engagement with accurate data and intelligent reporting. Tobacco is just one example of the 448 registers and licenses managed by governments in the UK, with 165 of those in Scotland. Our modular platform can also address a number of regulated secondary markets, including construction, education, and transport. Considering the global digital identity market is worth over £30 billion, ePass has the opportunity to have a significant impact beyond our borders, to revolutionise the way that we prove our credentials as individuals and businesses. Let's go back to our 3 steps: configure, apply, and enforce. Something common in every license scenario. License administrators can configure and adjust application requirements and flows to adapt to changing legislation. Any adjustments automatically update the decision engine and inform new and existing users of any requirements to comply with their license. The decision engine is an intelligent logic tree that determines if an application is successful. It uses pass, fail, and weighting logic to determine an overall score. If that score meets the minimum requirements set by the administrator, a license is granted automatically, reducing human effort. Throughout application processes, users receive guidance, estimated completion times, and have the ability to adjust their accessibility settings or to translate content, creating a pain-free and inclusive experience. Enforcement will be able to plan, track, and report on compliance within their local authority, with access to new mapping functions and accurate data, detailed history, ensuring efficient planning. Out in the field, enforcement can perform validation spot checks using the secure license scanning, record visits, and provide guidance to license holders.
We've already validated our minimum viable product through the CivTech program. As we enter into commercial product development, we aim to integrate the tobacco and vaping register in Scotland by month 6. By month 12, we'll be ready to onboard similar registers from the other 3 UK nations. We've also received early stage interest from various teams within the Scottish Government across different licensing domains, and we're also actively exploring diverse use cases with other private clients. As a tech company rooted in Dundee, our team is a powerhouse of talent to take this business forward, boasting numerous awards in software development. With a seasoned board spanning various industries, we've been crafting cutting-edge software solutions for over a decade. We proudly undertake projects for esteemed national and multinational organizations. Armed with top-tier qualifications and a diverse range of design, technical, and commercial expertise, we're poised to revolutionize the game with this product. To fuel our ambitious growth plans, we're aiming to secure £1 million investment by May 2025. Following this, in January 2026, we'll embark on fundraising for Series A and beyond. Our goal in the next 5 years is to achieve a revenue milestone of over 20 million. Our mission is to revolutionize licensing and registrations worldwide through digitization. We're eager to meet with prospects, investors, senior executives, and fellow innovators in this field. Join us in shaping the future of licensing.
Laura, James, thank you. That was such an excellent pitch. It's clear you've really embraced the opportunity to solve your challenge sponsors' problem, inhabiting their world and delivering impact already. So now it's time to have some questions from the audience. If you have a question, please could you raise your hand, and Lisa and Leslie, who are in the room, will come and find you with a microphone. I've got one to get us started. How versatile is your solution for the other use cases? You mentioned things like the construction industry, for example.
Yes, so recently, during our research, I spoke to someone who works in construction. They needed 10 licenses just to get on site. That's 10 bits of paper they've got to run around and find in the morning. If those licenses were validated through ePass, all they would need to remember is their phone.
Do we have any questions from the audience? Oh, one at the front.
Thank you. I'm Anne Johnson, and I work for myself. And long background in Silicon Valley. But the opportunity that occurred to me as I was listening to you wasn't for licensing. There was a sentence about validating the logic for the person who was applying to be licensed. It occurs to me that perhaps there is a use of that same workflow to validate the logic in the law. Because one of the issues that there often is that elected members think that there's some goal or other that they want to achieve, but they don't understand the scope of what they're trying to do, and they don't understand the contradictions in their expectations. So perhaps there's a way of being able to help people actually set up licensing requirements that are sensible and logical and checked before they actually go claiming that such and such a thing can be achieved by licensing in the first place.
Thank you. I think that's really insightful. It just shows how wide our solution base is. But it'd be really interesting to pick your brain a bit more afterwards.
Great, thank you. Elise, I think we have a question over there.
Mako Associates. You talked about a revenue target of 20 million in 5 years. I was just keen to understand the sort of revenue that each of these opportunities present for you. So how many customers is that? Or this project you're working on now, what revenue does that ultimately deliver for you?
Absolutely. So our first customer we would like to be is the Scottish Tobacco and Vaping Register in Scotland. There were in early stage commercial contracts regarding that, not fully agreed at this point in time. I mean, that's one register out of the other 3 UK nations. We've also spoken to, Northern Ireland have a register that is severely outdated. Wales have written legislation that they want a new register in their legislation, but they don't have one in place yet. So we have an opportunity around those other registers around the UK. And they've already met at 4 Nations Council in terms of those leading conversations. We believe that Scotland can be a leader in that area. Beyond that, there is an opportunity across the 448 other licenses across the UK. So we believe that's just tapping into the opportunity here, really on what's capable of creating a multi-purpose digital licensing for Scottish and the 4 Nations government and beyond globally.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. But remember, if you haven't had a chance to ask your question, James and Laura and any of the other companies that you'll meet today will be at their exhibition stands, so please do go and talk to them there. So thank you.